guys, here we are. As you can tell by the title, we are doing another declutter. This first one is going to be my eyeshadow palettes. Now, before you guys get into this or anything like that, I already did a massive declutter around, I want to say this time last year. I will leave that link down below, and I did get rid of a lot, and I have really started honing down my collection into what I use regularly and love. So if you're looking for a huge get rid of 50% of my collection declutter, this is not the declutter for you. I'm also not going to be swatching anything or doing stuff like that. If you want to see more in-depth reviews, I will leave my eyeshadow palette collection videos down below. But that is basically it. Anything that I do declutter, if it is old, it gets trashed, I will offer it to friends and family, and items that they do not want that are lightly used or hardly used at all, I will be selling in my Poshmark, which I will leave down below for you guys if you're interested in purchasing. I do not do giveaways with used makeup, because if I send it to one of y'all and you get a nasty breakout, I don't need that lawsuit. You don't need that lawsuit. So we're just gonna do it that way. But enough of me talking. Let's just get into the declutter. All right, so here we are at the drawer set that holds my eyeshadow palettes. I will apologize now for the weird lighting and how awkward this is going to be. I don't have a tripod, and because this isn't going to be a huge declutter, I'm just going to be doing it vlog style, so you're just going to have to bear with me. So firstly here we have got single eyeshadows. I did a pretty major declutter the first time around, but I think I can still pull a couple of these out because there's a lot that I just don't reach for. I am obviously going to be keeping all of my Kat Von D Thunderstruck eyeshadows. They actually just recently went on sale, so I'm hoping they're not phasing them out because they are one of my absolute favorites. Then I am also going to be keeping all of my NYX Primal Colors. I use these a lot, and especially when I'm doing colored eyebrows, I will use this to set the cream color that I use. So I'm going to be keeping all of these. Then here we've got kind of a mix. I've got a bunch from Tarantino. I do really like these. They're really pretty. These ones are all color coded, and one of these is a blue and one is a really pretty green. I do reach for these not pretty regularly, but I do have if there's a specific shade I do really love. Then I have, oh my goodness, this is not Urban Decay. This is a shadow from Hot Topic, and I probably got this 7 years ago, so it is gonna go. I got a little bin up there. And then I also have these two right here. These were just from I think Sally Beauty, and I'm pretty sure I have some Makeup Forever ones that I'm going to be trying to pan soon that are similar to these shades. I'm going to be decluttering those as well. Then back here I have 3 Jessie's Girl shadows. I already had 2 that I moved to my highlighter, and then I decluttered. This one I got because I saw it used in a tutorial, and I was like, oh, I can actually get it and use it as well. I'm gonna hold on to, I'm gonna hold on to that one, but get rid of these 2 because I just don't use them. Then we have this side. I have these 2 Kat Von D quads, I guess. I did recently haul these, so I'm not getting rid of them. I just have them in my single shadows because I think I would just use them more there. And then I have these NYX, what are these called? These are the Prismatic Shadows. Focus. And let me see what colors I have of that. Ooh, that one's really pretty. Oh my goodness, what's that? No, I'm gonna get rid of that one. And then I've got, I have a shade from Urban Decay that's pretty similar to this. I'm gonna get rid of that one. And then we have, what's that brand? No, I know I have a shade from Urban Decay that's similar. What's this one? This one, I think, what is this one called? Fireball. Honestly, I'm going to get rid of that one. And then I think this one is just kind of a bronzy gold. Passing that one along. And then what have we got here? That one. If I want a really pretty, like, all over the lid or inner corner, I'm going to hold on to that one. And then I'm going to get rid of Punk Heart. Then I have these, like, I think these are, what is this? This is the, oh my goodness. These are the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow. They're like a pressed pigment eyeshadow. You have to unscrew the top. I remember these used to be all the rage, and I wanted to be all the rage, so I bought them. But I think it is time to let these go. We are trying to narrow down cruelty-free, non-cruelty-free makeup as we go along, so I'm just going to let all of these go. So we did a pretty decent job there. Got rid of one of these things. If you are wondering, don't worry, nothing broke. These I get from Walmart. They're like 99 cents for like 3 of them. So those are really good. This has like eyeliners, concealers, and lip liners and other stuff. We're not going to deal with that right now. But we're going to be getting into the difficult part, and there are some drawers like this one, which is very obviously Kat Von D, where I'm not going to get rid of anything. The last declutter I did was very savage, and if you want more of a savage declutter, I will leave all of those linked down below for you guys. But I have really started to hone my collection down into what I love and know I will use, so that's kind of where we're at. I've got the mini metal matte palette here that I do enjoy. I have a review on that. I have 3 of her Shade and Light eye quads. I've got the big metal matte Shade and Light normal, Shade and Light glimmer back there. If you want just like a more in-depth like eyeshadow palette collection video where I show you all of them, I would be happy to do that for you. It's just kind of awkward sitting here and doing it like this. This is the new Kat Von D Eye Divine palette. I had a review on that. Interstellar, which is still one of my favorites. I actually used this today for that black. That was the first time I ever tried Kat Von D black, and I'm never going back, honestly. Then back here, I've got Chrysalis and Monarch. Absolutely love those. The only one that I would like maybe possibly contemplate getting rid of is this like star-studded Book of Shadows, which was her holiday the year before Mi Vida Loca. And not because they're bad quality, more you just look at this palette and you're kind of like, what? Like, I know her palettes are like really disorganized, but this is just all over the place. It's like the majority is neutrals, but I do keep it because I am a huge lover and collector of Kat Von D. Obviously, Mi Vida Loca Remix is staying, Saint and Sinner, and then beneath that, I have got the Hello Pastel Goth. Then we have this kind of like, I don't want to say random. I try to keep my palettes together by brand. This is like obviously a bunch of Lorac. I've got Sugar Pill from Shop Hush. So the new Sugar Pill Little Twin Stars I am keeping. These Lorac Mountain Sunset and Ocean Sunsets I am keeping. Lorac Unzipped and Lorac Unzipped Gold I am keeping. The California Dreaming, I want to say, is what this one was called. I really like this one. It's very soft and subtle. So I'm keeping that one. Pro 1 in my project pan. Pro 2 and Pro 3 I am keeping. Also keeping my Beauty and the Beast, as well as my Mega Pro 2, 3, and 4. And then I have like this like Pro Metal. It's really pretty. And then the Pro Matte, like the problem with these like little ones, like the justification is always like, oh, it's like great for travel. But when I travel, I just take everything with me. So being small doesn't really matter. But then there is this one. I'll admit part of the reason I got it is because of the bright pink packaging. The colors are all shimmers. Like I'm really attracted to that like aqua color, the blue and the purple and kind of that color and maybe the silver, but honestly, I'm gonna let it go. Never thought I'd get rid of a Lorac one. This one I would normally get rid of because I did not enjoy it at all. This is like one of my only duds from Lorac ever, but because my husband did get it for me, I want to hold on to it because I'm freakishly sentimental like that. Now these two here, these are from Okalon from Shop Hush. It is a Venus 1 and Venus 2 dupe. I have the Venus, I don't have the Venus 2, but if you look at the colors, I mean, they're identical colors. They're just not, like I look at that and I'm like, yeah, I can kind of get, but I have that color in the Anastasia subculture. I'm sure I have those two colors in 50 other palettes. I have that in the Pastel Goth. I don't need a black with glitter in it, so honestly, I'm going to be doing Is It a Dupe videos with these, but after I do those videos, they're going to go. And then, obviously, keeping my Sugar Pill. Are these just like their pro palettes? And they have some absolutely amazing shades. They're just so bright. I obviously reach for these for like some standout colors. That red is the best red you are ever going to use. I absolutely love that kind of aqua color. I just love these, so they're staying. And if I'm being honest with myself, I want to keep what I use, so I am going to let go of the Lorac Pro Metal and the Lorac Pro Matte. Cleaned up a little space right there. This is another keep everything drawer. This is my Urban Decay drawer. Everything I have from Urban Decay is in here except for the Full Spectrum, which we'll see later, and the Vice 3 or 4, I think 3, is at my grandparents in Tennessee because I'm going to be going back there and it's in my project pan and I want to try to use it up wherever I am. But I just have my Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics. I will admit, Urban Decay is a brand that I really got into when I like first started makeup, and now I'm just kind of like, eh. But I do enjoy the stuff that I have. And then we have the Naked Heat, Naked 1, Naked 2, Naked 3, and that's going to leave Naked Smoky. You can see my pink sneakers. Moondust, Gwen Stefani, various Vice palettes, the Alice Through the Looking Glass, and the Electric palette, Naked Basics. Just keeping and using all of it. Here we have the Too Faced drawer, which honestly, if you like have been on my channel for a while, you would know that the two that you would be like, hey, aren't you getting rid of those, is the White Chocolate and the White Peach. But I do not feel bad keeping something that I spent my money on, even if it isn't necessarily really good, because I do have a makeup-based Instagram that I take lots of pictures for, so that's kind of my justification. Now, it's crappy justification, but, you know, I don't need to justify myself to people. So we do have white chocolate, then we have the normal chocolate bar, then we have the chocolate bonbons, chocolate gold, sweet peach, and the semi-sweet clover back there. I think that's that. I'm trying out the glitter bomb. I recently hauled this as well from Marshall's. I have the Natural Love back there, and then obviously Peachy Mattes and the White Peach under it right here. Those packaging sticks together. There we have that. And then when we get into like kind of a trouble area is this, because I love these little tin ones, and it's like an addiction, really. But I'm going to keep the Natural Matte, and then we have this like cat eyes one, which I got because I saw it in a magazine, and that was when I was very young and impressionable. I'm still young and impressionable, but these three colors are pretty much the same. You're not getting anything much unique. I'm going to let that one go. Then I'm keeping both the rock and roll and the country, if for nothing else, sentimental reasons. I bought this one, the rock and roll one, for myself because it was very much my vibe. And then I bought the country for my best friend because it was very much her vibe. So I do actually really enjoy those. Obviously Sugar Pop, obviously peanut butter and jelly. And if I'm being honest with this one can go too. Honestly got rid of more Too Faced than I ever thought I would. Then we have this drawer, which is again another hodgepodge. I hate to say it, but these are going to go. They just recently came into my collection and now they're going out because I used them for the purpose was for a video. I used them in a video and they're just not that good. It makes me sad because they're affordable. The colors are really nice, but I found that the colors, there wasn't a lot of differentiation when you blended them. You'd put like one color down and then it just didn't work very well. So these are gonna go. I do want to test out this one a little bit more. It was in that same video and I wasn't feeling it too much. I'm keeping the Buxom here, the Viseart there. These Smashbox cover shots I enjoy. Below that is the Morphe 25A and the 25B. I'm keeping those. And then I have the Morphe Jaclyn Hill one here. And then I have like the 35B and the 35OM. And then what's this one? 35F. This one is really pretty and I bought it because I couldn't get my hands on the 35O. They're like all shimmer shades except for this row of mattes here. And although they're really pretty Morphe shadows, as you can see, the ones that I've used, they like, the shimmers, like a chunk gets taken out of them every time you use them. They're not like Anastasia, obviously, but I think I am going to let this one go. I'm just not the biggest fan of Morphe. Then we have these Stila palettes. These are the like eyes are the window palettes. And I was going to declutter them because Stila was cruelty-free. I mean, not cruelty-free. And now they are cruelty-free. And then I was like, yay, I get to keep them. This one I know I'm getting rid of because the colors are really pretty, but what you see in the pan is not what you get on your eyes. It's a very just light wash of color, so that one's gonna go. And then these three are like really pretty. This is like a cooler toned one, and this is like warm, and those are all mattes. Like I really like that shade, but if I'm being honest with myself, I'm sure I have that shade in plenty of other palettes. I want to keep this one for like reference, and I do like all matte palettes. So these two are going to go as well. Then I've got this Becca one. This is like the ombre nudes, I want to say. And I got this and I used this heavily when I was doing like my dolly makeup because it had the perfect start to finish color gradient. So I am going to keep that one. Keeping my Sugar Pill Cold Chemistry and my, what is it called? Sparkle Baby palette. I do have Jeffree Star Androgyny and Beauty Killer, keeping that, and a Zoeva palette that a subscriber sent to me, so didn't do too well there. But like I told you guys, it wasn't going to be a huge declutter. We have another smattering. This is the Soph plus Soph Does Nails and Makeup Revolution collab. Like, I need to do a video. Oh my goodness, it's so hard with one hand. I need to do a video on this, and the colors are absolutely beautiful, so I want to hold on it for a little while longer. This beautiful regret of a purchase, this big old giant Marc Jacobs thing. I spent way too much money on it and I don't use it. And the colors are okay. It's not anything you can't get, and like the purples that I would really want to work just aren't extremely pigmented, and I'm gonna let it go. And then honestly, my last two Marc Jacobs here. This was like a limited edition one. It's called the Siren, and these colors are beautiful, but I have things like that. If I'm going to go for a blue like that, it's going to be from Kat Von D's Single Shadows. So I'm going to let this one go. It makes me sad. This one I am, however, keeping. This one is the Vamp, and I absolutely love this one. I do my vampire makeup using this, so I'm going to keep that. Then I have these NYX On The Go palettes. I was holding on to them because like, oh, I need like drugstore options, but I have plenty of other options. I really don't need to keep these. And I also have these NYX Avant Pop ones that I really, really like. So the Magic by Juvia's is not my favorite palette just because it's more a palette I go in for a special color, not to do a whole look from the palette. But my husband got it for me and I am going to be keeping it. Carli Bybel Deluxe Edition. You guys know I do really love this palette. Gave it a rave review when it came out. It's absolutely stunning. So keeping that, plus Lorac Pirates of the Caribbean I'm keeping. The Saharan by Juvia's Place right here. Do love this palette very, very much. Very red toned and gorgeous. Magic by Juvia's Place, one of my absolute favorite Juvia's Place palettes. Then I have these no longer exist. You can't buy these anymore. These are the oh so controversial Lime Crime Fantasy palettes. When I first got into makeup, Lime Crime was kind of the thing for all the it people to have. And I wanted to be an it person, and I went and I scoured and I found and I spent way too much money on these. I mean, if I'm being honest with you guys, I think I spent 67 British pounds on the D'Antoinette one, the pastel one. So these, just for the sake of what I put into them and the memory they hold, I will keep these. Then I got a Tart Z palette with those Makeup Forever shadows that I was telling you about. I also have another one, but that one is in my bathroom. It just has Urban Decay shadows in it, keeping both of those. Alright, another kind of hodgepodge drawer. We got Tart, Anastasia, random whatever. There's that Urban Decay full spectrum I said I was going to keep, so let's just go through this. This is the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself. This, you guys kind of know how I feel about this, and this is the main reason I'm not getting that unicorn one, and because it's stinking limited edition. It's like pretty. I don't get along too well with the formula. This is actually going to be going to a niece of mine, so she can play with that. I have the Tarte Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen palette. I don't use this, like, hardly. Oh, heavens, no, don't look at me. I don't use it much, but I do want to keep it for the sake of it being kind of a piece of historical makeup in like the journey of YouTube and makeup. Obviously keeping both of my Clay Play face shaping palettes. You guys know I love both of these so stinking much. If Tarte were to just keep making products like this, I would be okay with them as a brand, but they don't, so I'm not okay with them. Obviously, you guys know how much I feel about this. This is one of the worst palettes of 2017. This is the Pure Cosmetics My Little Pony the Movie palette, and it is going bye-bye. And I don't feel bad about that either. Then we have this like Estee Edit. This was like a holiday thing 2 years ago. I love how we go through our makeup and we're like, oh, it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and we look on the back and it's like, it doesn't say how long it's good for. Probably on the packaging, which is long gone. These shades are so stunning. I use that like green one there in like a pastel goth. Just, alright, I'm going to hold on to it a little bit more. Maybe put this in a project pan. Obviously, my Tarteist Pro is staying. Let's see here. These Trina Tarantino quads. These are really good shadows and they're sentimental to me. My mother bought them for me, so I know holding on to makeup is an excuse, but it's my collection. I'm allowed to do what I want. Keeping the full spectrum, I've got Tarte Toasted, Tartlet and Bloom, and Original Tartlet. And I'm keeping all of my Anastasia Beverly Hills. I mean, some things I just like having. Obviously got Soft Glam, Prism, Modern Renaissance, Self-Made, Subculture, World Traveler, and Artist Palette. Only missing the Mario palette, and that makes me angry. Alright guys, last drawer, and I apologize, this is the cord to my lighting so that we can actually do this. This is the, Bad Habit Royals palette. I talked about this being like a possible dupe for the Modern Renaissance. And it is a really good palette. If you don't have the budget for the Modern Renaissance, I would highly recommend getting this. And I am going to keep this a little bit longer in my collection. I'm going to be getting rid of this little Viseart palette in Minx. It's okay, it's just not something that I reach for or I need, so it's gonna go. Recently picked up the Venus Extra Large, so I'm gonna be keeping that. And we have these like, these little Smashbox Santi Gold palettes. These little things came around the time that I started getting into makeup, and I remember I saw them and I'm like, oh, I want to have these. They're so cute. They're so pretty. And then I think I went to a CCO or some kind of outlet that had backstocked makeup, and they had them, and I got them, and I have never freaking touched them. So I think it's time to cut those heartstrings.
Keeping my Venus 2, though it might be time to get a new one. You can see my mirrors all whatever. This is old, but I love it. This Violet Voss thing. Oh my goodness. I bought this because I could not get my hands on the Holy Grail palette. And I was like, okay, I'll get the Drenched Metals. And I just don't enjoy it. The quality isn't very good, or maybe I don't know how to use them. But either way, I don't reach for it. So I'm going to let that one go. Then I have my BH Cosmetics Galaxy Chic. I do really love this palette, but I got mine like secondhand, whatever, and I think it's old and time to need to get a new one. So that one's gonna go, and at some point I will purchase a new one. Then we have the Supernova, which I could not get along with. I tried so hard. The colors are beautiful, but they're just not the same formula as the Galaxy Chic palette. So, okay, and here is the overview of what I am getting rid of. We have got 28 palettes and a whole little bin of single shadows. Got rid of a bit more than I thought I would, but I'm pretty happy with what I have in my collection now. And welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know that I did not get rid of nearly as much as I did last time, but like I said before, that is because I have already done a massive declutter. This is just kind of a paring out of things that didn't work for me in the year and stuff that I didn't declutter last time that I still haven't really used. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Stay tuned for the second part of my declutter series, which will be my face products, blush, highlighter, contour, powder, all that jazz. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!